it's Tammy with Collard Valley Cooks. We have a lot of okra coming out of the garden. I made a pork roast today, so I'm going to show you how to fry up okra and it be crunchy and delicious. And I do cut the ends off, and I know what some ladies don't. Now, I don't cut the tip off. And when I cut okra, I cut it about that thick. So I'm going to cut this up, and I'll show you how I batter it. Okay, our next step is shaking up your buttermilk. This is fat-free. Let me go get some whole. You want your buttermilk to be a little bit thicker, so get whole buttermilk, not the fat-free, when you're battering chicken and vegetables. Now, I'm just going to put in a little bit, and then I'm going to start stirring it up. Because if we put too much, like I did with my squash the other day on my video, I'll be pouring it off, and it's harder to get the batter on there. So just pour a little bit in, and use your hands, and mix it up good. Time to bring the okra. I bread it with self-rising flour. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to put some flour in the bottom of a pie plate, a good bit, and then I'm going to take my okra, lay it out in the flour, go ahead and salt and pepper it. Put a lot of pepper on it while it's got the buttermilk on it before you bread it, because it sticks to it real well that way. So then you're going to salt it. And then I'm going to put some flour on it again. And then I'll do this layer the same way. I use pie plates so much. If you don't have any, they're cheap. Go get some. I probably got 5 or 6, and I use them every time I cook. They are wonderful tools in the kitchen. So we're salt and peppering that layer, and then we're going to sprinkle it as well. Now it's ready to fry. So we're going to bring it over to where we're working. Alright, we're going to turn it on our skillet on high. Hopefully you've got an iron skillet. I like to use a wok because it gets so hot. This wok is iron. It's a cast iron wok, and I love it. It's made by Berghoff. We're going to go ahead and start our okra. If you've got an iron skillet, just use an iron skillet. They get good and hot. I'm going to put some shortening in here. The best way to fry okra is using shortening. I'm going to put a lot in there, because I almost deep fry my okra. That's the way I like it. And you want it good and hot. I had some cream corn on this spoon, so it's popping. But you're going to see this pan is hot all the way up the side. See how it's melting that shortening? That's why I like to cook the cast iron. Alright, we're going to start this okra. I think it's hot enough. So we're just going to put it in the grease. Now I don't like cornbread in my okra. So I'm sorry you guys that like cornbread. for it to be crunchy. So we are not going to touch this until it's completely brown. It's just going to sit in there for a while. Okay, it's time to flip this okra. Nice and brown. One side of my stove stays hotter than the other, drives me nuts. And just keep letting it fry. It really needs some more Crisco in it. Most of the time you do have to add some. I usually take it, once I flip it the first time, and add pieces all the way around it. Crisco makes prettier, or shortening, this ain't Crisco, but shortening fries up prettier okra, just hands down, it just works better. Yeah, it's fattening, it's bad for you, but if you're going to have some fried okra, who cares? Okay, it's ready to flip. Now, your middle always hesitates to brown. So, like this over here is nice and crunchy. So you want to rotate it in your pan and bring the part from the middle to the edge. Not let it get nice and brown before you take it out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get some of this out. Now look at that pretty crust with self-rising flour, no cornmeal. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. Now, if you want to make okra ahead, like if you're going to take it to church or you're going to, you want to fry it up early, instead of putting it on a paper towel like I'm about to do, well, you can put it on a paper towel for about, 3 or 4 minutes. But after that, you need to put it on a sheet pan and put it in the oven on warm. Same thing if you're making hush puppies or fish or something like that. You don't want to keep it on the paper towel or it'll make it soggy, okay? After you've fried something, if you're not going to eat it pretty fast. But I think that's perfect, y'all. I think it's ready. So I'm going to turn off this wok makes frying okra so much faster because on a gas stove, it takes a little longer to fry stuff. All right, there's potatoes, and I cut up some carrots. And when you do a roast, buy a real pack of carrots and use a potato peeler and peel them and use them so that you don't, in other words, don't use those that are pre-cut because they just taste so much better when they're fresh. Now, there's some good juice in here, y'all. And I wish I had a biscuit to sop it up with, but I don't. And we don't need one if we're having dessert, right? So we're going to go over here. Chris, bring me that okra. We're going to put a little okra on the plate. It's going to get a little juice on it, but I don't think that matters. Woo! That okra's hot. Hot? There's our plate, y'all. Now we could slice a tomato on there from the garden. Would you hold this for me, Chris? Please. So I can do this. Hold it. I mean, you don't have to hold it over, just hold it. Okay. I might get one of these garden tomatoes and slice it and put it on the plate too.
Chris don't really like them as much as I do, but I'll definitely put one of these little baby Rutgers on mine. If you've never had a Rutger tomato, grow one next year. You will not be sorry. It is an heirloom tomato, and they're really, really tasty. Thanks for watching Colored Valley Cooks, where we cook like Mama did. Bye, y'all. Love ya. If you've never done okra this way, I suggest you really try it because you're gonna love it. I've had several people that are good Southern cooks, and they typically bread their okra with cornmeal. I've had several people do it my way and say that they loved it. And so I'm going to show you how I do it my way.